As many as 3,000 Shia forces, backed by tanks and other military hardware, are gathering at a military base outside of Ramadi in an effort to take back the city from ISIL. Now, back in March, after wrestling to Crete from the Islamic State, Iraq's prime minister talked about pushing on to the nation's second largest city to recapture Mosul. Now, all that seems very far away.
At present, the news couldn't be much worse for Iraqi leaders and the U.S.-backed coalition trying to drive the Islamic State from the region. ISIL is now in firm control of Ramadi, a city only 110 kilometers west of Baghdad. The pitched fighting claimed as many as 500 lives, both Iraqi forces and civilians, and emboldened ISIL.
And God willing, we are heading to Baghdad and Karbala, and we will smash them all with God's will.
Iraqi Prime Minister Haider al-Abadi is now rushing Iranian-backed Shia militia to Ramadi as reinforcements. The U.S. has been urging al-Abadi to postpone sending Shia fighters to the Sunni stronghold, concerned it would inflame sectarian fighting. But it is clear Iraq needs help if it is going to stop ISIL's onslaught.
The international coalition should carry out a counterattack to liberate the city of Ramadi from Islamic State militants. The seizure of Ramadi is too grave and serious because of being so close to Baghdad.
The U.S.-led airstrikes have increased, and fleeing troops report large explosions in Ramadi. There are also growing concerns of a humanitarian crisis. At least 8,000 more people fled Ramadi as it fell under ISIL control. Thousands have abandoned the city, most seeking refuge in heavily fortified Baghdad.
Their communications have been reduced. Their funding and financial mechanisms have been reduced.
U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry is trying to put a positive spin on the huge setback, pointing out that ISIL is making strides at a high cost in casualties, finances, and restricted movements.
But that's not everywhere. And so it is possible to have the kind of attack we've seen in Ramadi. But I am absolutely confident in the days ahead that will be reversed.
To the west of Iraq, in Jordan, 18 nations are taking part in a military exercise, including 5,000 U.S. troops. The chaos caused by ISIL in Syria and Iraq have made Jordan's security a key focus for the United States, which considers Jordan a stable key ally in the region.
The question remains, is this advance a show of ISIL's strength or just how weak and inefficient Iraqi fighters remain? There are reports of widespread execution as the Islamic State secures its grip on Ramadi. And now the Islamists control a full 1/3 of Iraq and wide swaths of Syria. Mike?
Sean, thanks so much.